Bulls Nation, welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Weekly, and in this episode I want to call this episode specifically a week full of injuries because we had some really big highs today. We made some significant progress in our team, but we also suffered very bad lows in this week, and it's just a bit frustrating overall. But of course the positives will outweigh the negatives as we have had a really strong week in my opinion, and let's talk all about it in this video. Let's do it. Everybody, it's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing another episode of Chicago Bulls Weekly. We look at previous weeks for the Chicago Bulls, we talk about how positive or negative it was, we go into the upcoming weeks, and we also give a little bit of the rewards for the Chicago Bulls for who had a standout week and who was disappointing this week. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls week this week. Obviously, let's first look at the previous week. We went 2-1 this week, and we all knew the challenges would begin this week, and the challenges have definitely begun. We first kicked off with a very strong and very defiant Toronto Raptors team that came back from, again, I believe it was 20 points down. They came back and nearly had a chance to win the game. I remember Fred VanVleet airballing a shot very similar to the game we're talking about next, but the Bulls did win this game 111-108. At the end of the day, it was a bad free throw from Nikola Vucevic, I believe. Vucevic contested the shot and Fred VanVleet missed, and that's how we won the game. We were dominant this game. We were dominant throughout the entirety of the game, and we definitely deserved the win. But you have to give full credit to the Raptors for coming back in that game and put up one hell of a fight. Then we moved over to the New York Knicks side of things, and we ended up losing this game. We lost to the New York Knicks 104-103, but as bad as this loss hurt, obviously something else hurt a little bit more. Obviously with the Raptors game as well, Zach LaVine suffered a torn ligament injury that he's currently playing through right now, and this loss hurts because Patrick Williams will be out for the season based on this loss. So it's more than just a loss. This is probably the biggest negative you could take away out of the week, that we lost our first game of the season. We could have had a chance to win it as well, and obviously Patrick Williams being out for the season, I think all those negatives combined into one showed for a really dark few days with the Chicago Bulls, which we picked it up mere few hours away from the last game against the Utah Jazz, where we won this game 107-99. I think it was an absolutely superb game from the Chicago Bulls this time around. We made the Utah Jazz feel very, very uncomfortable, and in the end, it just goes to show that we are a very strong team and we do mean business this season, and if you bring a good team against us, we always have a chance to beat good teams. I thought Utah are a fantastic team, and the fact that we won this game at home is a really big changing of what we saw from last year to this year once again, and hopefully we can continue to beat really good teams in the future because we have a lot of good teams coming up. Let's look at the must improve, ladies and gentlemen, the must improve of the week. It is very difficult to say in terms of who should get it, because I feel like, once again, some players stepped up during the week in different games. Some players kind of stepped down and didn't really perform over the course of the week. And it is a bit difficult, but I feel like many people will target Patrick Williams out for this award once again, just because of his lackluster week, and of course being injured. I don't really want to say too much into this. I am going to pick him as the must improve, just because I feel like for the minutes that he got, he just was a little bit disappointing. He only played a game and a half though, so I can't really say too much. I'm just going to move quickly on about this. I don't really want to talk about Patrick Williams anymore because it's just going to get me a little bit more upset. Let's look at the Sixth Man of the Week award, ladies and gentlemen, and I think this is a fairly simple one to give. Once again, it's always going to be Alex Caruso. I don't know who's going to take that award away from him every single week, because he's making a really strong case for himself to be that sixth man for the Chicago Bulls every single week, and also potentially a Sixth Man of the Year candidate. We'll have to talk about that in another video, because the way that he's been playing, especially defensively and playmaking wise, he's definitely remaining consistent, and he definitely has an opportunity there if the NBA really looks hard at it. Alex Caruso, in my opinion, has been the best bench player, at least for what I've seen from the NBA this season. So of course it's early days, and things can definitely change, but I'm really admiring the way Alex Caruso plays, and it's very easy to give him this award, ladies and gentlemen. And the player of the game, I'm actually going to give this one to DeMar DeRozan. Again, I believe he had 26 points once this week, and he had a 32-point game this week as well against the Utah Jazz. And I thought the Utah Jazz game was absolutely amazing from DeMar DeRozan. And again, I really admire watching him play. Obviously, there will be some games where people will have to criticize him because he does take a lot of isolation plays. He does take some contested mid-range shots, but that's what he's been doing his whole career. And I know many people will have mixed opinions on him, but another really strong game with the Utah Jazz, and I think a really strong week overall. All the preseason talk about DeMar DeRozan not fitting into this team, all the preseason talk that we may not see the best version of him, I definitely see we are probably seeing a really good version of him right now. I'm not sure if this is the best. Maybe he can go another level higher, but I can simply not complain about his game against the Utah Jazz. I thought he was absolutely tremendous in that game. He did have a bad game against New York. I have to give him a little bit of criticism. He was very inefficient against the New York Knicks, and he did miss a game-winning shot with an air ball, which I'm not too sad about in terms of the shot, but obviously I'd like him to make it. It's pretty obvious. But yeah, other than that, a really strong week, and hopefully he can keep up these performances. The Bulls' record overall is 5-1, which is fantastic. A great start to the season. I think many people would have been very satisfied if we went 5-1 in our first 6 games. I think many people would be very happy towards that. But the challenges don't stop here, ladies and gentlemen. Just because we've beaten the Utah Jazz, we still have an immense schedule ahead of us, and we have to be very aware of these situations. We're going to be talking about 3 games in the upcoming week that we need to look forward to. Obviously, the first game is going to be against the Boston Celtics away from home. This will be an away game, and it's going to be interesting to see how Boston comes into this game losing in double overtime to the Washington Wizards. I'm sure they're going to be very angry, very upset, and they're going to have a chance to bounce back against the Chicago Bulls. And let's see if the Chicago Bulls can retaliate with some damaging offense of their own, and we'll see what happens. It's going to be a very interesting game. Boston's an interesting team. The new acquisitions they've made, they are a bit interesting, and we'll have to wait and see how they go against the Chicago Bulls, and hopefully the Chicago Bulls can hold them off. Then, we've got a game against the Philadelphia 76ers away from home. Philly is also an interesting team. I'm not sure when we're going to see Ben Simmons play. I'm intrigued to see how the Chicago Bulls will go against the team of the Philadelphia 76ers with no Ben Simmons. Is that a benefit for the Philadelphia 76ers, or is that definitely a hindrance from them? I think it could go both ways, so we'll have to wait and see how we go against Philly. And then we got the Philadelphia 76ers once again. This will be at the United Center. We're going to see them first away from home, and then a couple days later we'll see them at home, which is going to be very interesting. Whoever wins the first game will have a lot to learn, and will have a lot of information they can carry over into the next game. So I expect a really close game from the Bulls and the 76ers in these next 2, and we'll wait and see who can come out on top. If the Bulls can win 2 out of the 3 once again this week, we are in steady mode. We are in a mode that's going to be fantastic to see in the future. If we can keep going every week, winning 2 out of 3 games, we're going to be in a really good position going into, obviously, getting out of, this tough schedule, getting out of the Western Conference trip that we're going to be going on later on, which is going to be very difficult for this team. And again, that is the goal for the Chicago Bulls, in my opinion. Keep winning 2 out of 3, and let's see how we go in the future after we get out of the West. When we go back to the East, we got some like the Knicks and the Pacers, then we got the Magic and things like that, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of a better time. We'll wait and see. East and West, it's a very tough season for everybody this year, and everybody's losing to everybody. So let's just see how the Chicago Bulls go. I think we're in a very good moment right now, and let's see if we can keep it up. With that being said, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Chicago Bulls Weekly. And of course, if you watch these every week, I'll see you next week. If not, we'll be talking more about the Bulls tomorrow. Take care and peace.